Are you defined by fear, or is it a stepping stone to find your purpose? Every day is a new opportunity. Young and old, the chains of age are broken, impossibilities are shattered, and dreams are born. Heartache is felt, but only temporary. Who will change the minds of the future? And is that person? Is it you? What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking. What's up, everyone? It's another Next Level Thinking episode. As always, it's your host, as always, C. Holmes, as we get ready to get things going, and we have some great topics and discussion to bring to you and have things rolling. But I'm not here by myself, but today I have a guest by the name of... I know you have some technical difficulties, I have my guest by the name of... Introduce yourself. We live. You ready? Facing a little technical difficulties, but it's all right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So introduce the guest audience. What's your name? What's your name? I don't know if you can hear me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you barely. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
I got 3 bars, bro.
It's all good. As we
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
All right. Okay, cool. I don't know. I was about to say, what is happening? What's happening, man?
It's all good. We had a little technical difficulties, part of the energy. The reception. But other than that, I have my special guest by the name of
Dillard Gibson, man. What's happening? What's happening, y'all?
There we go. It's another great day of next level thinking, regardless of whatever happens in technology when we have things going, man. But other than that, man, what's going on for you? Tell the audience a little bit about yourself as we get this episode rolling.
All right, man. All right, man. So my name is Dillard Gibson from Dallas, Texas, Pleasant Grove to be specifically. Moved to Forney when I was in the second grade. Lived there majority of my life, man. Went to Stephen F. Austin State University where I got a degree in marketing. I joined the fraternity of Alpha Nu Delta fraternity. That's how I actually met my boy C. Holmes here. He's actually my frat bro for my beta chapter. On top of that, after I graduated, moved to Arlington, and I've been basically a serial entrepreneur ever since, man. I'm a photographer, an actor, influencer, and just a great personality and a great energy to be around, man. And I'm just so happy to be around. I'm so glad my boy C. Holmes basically reached out to me and said, "Hey, we got to get you on a stream and a podcast, man." I said, "That's no problem," and here we are, man.
Hey, that's what it's all about, man. You got to bring the bros together and tell their story because every story matters and you have a purpose as well, man. You have a lot of great different things going on, especially with the production and true. Stephen F. Austin and much more, man. It's just a list of different things, but just to kind of bring concrete, what is like the main motivation that kind of gave you this drive for all of this?
Man, that's a great question. So, back in 2018, going into 2019, I used to work at Chase Bank, and corporate America is very cool. It's the thing is it wasn't me. Great pay, great people, but it was boring, and it was very square cut. It just wasn't me, and I just felt out of place. And so who actually got me into photography was actually one of my best friends, Carmel Joseph. I call him Mello, and
Mellow.
it's literally been my best friend. He was my first roommate in college. We graduated around the same time, and we just been best friends ever since. And so he actually got into photography about a few months before, and maybe about a year before I did. And he said, "Bro, you got to get into this, man. This stuff is amazing." And I said, "Man, I would, but I'm in corporate America." And then after that, I just said, "You know what?" I said, "If this doesn't work, I got to do something else." And I had to make some more money, and I wanted to do something that I wanted to do. And I picked up a camera, Sony. I believe I had a Sony A6000 at the time,
He remembers the
and
model name of it too.
yeah, man, Sony A6000 at the time, and I picked it up. I did a first photo shoot at the Medellin Hotel, and ever since then, I've been doing this ever since, bro, and that's just been my passion. And my boy Mello got me into it, and I picked up the skill from my grandma, my late grandma, and ever since then, I've just been doing it, bro.
And I'm glad you brought that too, like especially with the introduction of story. As like just picking it up and then just like going from it, just like Nike, just do it. And then you find like something that kind of like calls you more because you said basically you came from something that was like well established and great pay, but it's like this just ain't it. And it's so hard for people to like walk away from that. And I feel like people at times settle for that and not like their actual like happiest because they're doing just going with the flow of things or what society has told them to do, and then you're like, this doesn't look or feel like me, so I'm going to step outside the box and do something that feels right. And that takes a lot of courage, man, because like you'd be surprised how many people are afraid to make that step. So with that said though, like was there any kind of fears or challenges that you face while doing this? Because you know when you're doing something like this, um, usually there's adversity, or did you not have any at all?
Man, no, from like first it was just fun. It was just like, all right, I'm just doing this kind of for fun. But then when I started to notice like I'm pretty good at this, but not on top of that, I'm actually enjoying this and I love it. But I will say doing that at first was very scary. Buying that first camera, uh
Investment.
yeah, man, that first camera, I remember I bought it for like $800 or something like that. I had to buy a
We ain't even
lens,
mentioned the lens yet.
yeah, I got to get a lens, had to get a light or whatever, and already I'm over here spending 12, $1,500, and I haven't even
Real
made
quick.
I haven't even did a sale yet. I'm just like, man, this is hard,
Hey, it just
and I'm
comes out the gate shooting like you, man. Woo! I spent like it's like a
yes,
gun.
yes,
Dang,
and
already.
that's cheap. That's not even the top of the line.
Did you there?
Can you hear me? Is you good?
No, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, no, me and my boy, we went to Cali. We had a Cali trip planned, and
Oh, he took the
ever
camera to
since
the
then,
West
that's when,
Coast.
yes, man, that Cali trip was different. That's when I actually met. I didn't even know who she was at the time, but that's when I met and shot Diamond the Body. Um,
Wait,
uh,
what?
yeah, like that was one of my first, and I didn't even get paid. Like we just went to Cali. We said it was me, my boy Mello, and my boy Johnny Glow. Shout out to Glow Industries out there, man. But me and my boy Johnny and my boy Mello, we just said we're going to Cali. We're gonna have some fun. We first found this college party at USC, and that was pretty cool. But
Hmm.
then we went to we said, hey, there's this party, but we got to park over here like in Orange County, and we got on the bus. We went to, it was a mansion party. All I know is I got there, it was nothing but beautiful. We get on the bus with probably about 12 women, and it's just me, my boy Mello, and Johnny. Best, I said, man, this is the best bus ride I ever had in my life. then then we get there to the place, and once we get to the place, it's a big old mansion. They have a bounce house. Everyone's in swimsuits. There's nothing but beautiful people out there. I said, man, this is cool.
You were living
So
your
it
best life. That's what it sounds like
man,
right
it was the
now.
best. I'm trying to tell you, top three, top five times I ever had in my whole complete life.
He said, "Whole
And
complete
me,
life."
yes, man. And me, and my boy Mello, we had our cameras, and they were just like, "Hey, y'all got cameras? Hey, man, y'all need to come up here." It was a rappers party or whatever, and and we got there, and they brought us up to the rooftop, and we're literally on the edge of the roof, on top of the roof, while they're throwing money and girls is dancing and people going down, and we're literally just taking pictures and photos of it, man. And then literally the girls is shaking their tail right off of the edge, and I'm doing videos. I said, man, this is a fun lifestyle, man. I literally just left Chase Bank, and I'm over here having the best time of my life now the next week afterwards. And then that's when I met Diamond the Body, and we did photo shoot. I did a private photo shoot like with her. You can literally go to my page on my IG on Captured by Dillard, and if you scroll down far enough, you're going to see her. And I didn't even know who she was until pretty much last year, the year before. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't. That's her. That's the girl that literally that I shot. Like that was one of my first photo shoots I ever took. And that's when I knew. I said, man, this picture stuff can really, and photography can really take me in some different places, man. And but yeah, it was very challenging, bro. It really was. It was very hard to get into that industry, to get your clientele, to get repeat clientele, to shoot what you're worth and not just what your people can afford.
All right, now
Uh,
hold on. We ain't just gonna miss on that because it's especially important for the young photographers or videographers that are getting into this. And you said a mouthful with that because a lot of times you have, especially young photographers or videographers that get into this, they want to charge an amount and are constantly like countered. And it's like, well, I'm just gonna pay this amount. Like, what would you say to the young photographer or videographer when it comes down to that? Because I've had some feedback and they kind of get a little discouraged. But what would you say for the young one trying to get into this?
Yeah, getting into it, first you just got to get your feet wet and network and be around the right people. That's step number 1. And make sure that you are prepared. You're not going to be fully there because you're not going to know everything day one. I didn't know nothing. I literally was asking everyone, and I was thinking about my stuff, like thinking twice about it. Like I was overthinking it, and it's very simple, man. But really, bro, what I would say is to first see where you are. So like, cause like I remember when I first started out, I was like, man, I don't know what to charge. But first you got to see where you are and who you are. And then once you start building that brand, you start going off of what uh is what basically your needs. So like let's say if you do $100 shoot, but it costs you almost $70 to $80 to even do the shoot, then you're not making
Ooh,
any money.
the
Now
profit
you're
was
not.
low.
Yeah, you're lowballing yourself. And like even like right now, like that's something I still struggle with because I do stuff for the art and for the love of it. I just actually love taking photos. It's a real passion of mine. And so for me, sometimes I don't even charge. I just do it just because I got my camera with me. I just do that. But really, I just made a post on affordable photographers on Facebook page, and usually, like let's say my rates, they usually start out between 125 to around 175 an hour, depending on video and photo. However, like I'm realizing that I'm really shortchanging myself. I'm really cutting myself in the foot because really you can charge an easily 150 to $200 an hour, and these are just amateurs doing this. And I'm like,
And a
man,
lot of
I'm
people
looking
don't
at something.
realize that
Yeah,
because, like, if you especially come from certain environments, you may thinking that you're charging too much, and then you
yeah.
get into the real marketplace, they're like, that was low.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like I literally a girl last night, or not last night, but the other week, she said she wants to do a photo shoot. She says, "Hey, how much you charge for this?" I said 125. She says, "Oh, perfect, that's good." And she says, "You're really shortchanging yourself, but I'll take it." I'm like, dang, I think I am because I'm like, man, I'm doing this stuff, and the stuff that I'm doing that I'm just playing around with is better than some of the people. I would say better, but it's just up there with other people who are doing this like with the best equipment and a lot of editing and a lot of that. I'm like, man, I'm doing this just straight off the camera and a little bit of Lightroom. And they're like, man, this is amazing. You need to start charging more. And so what I would say is see where you are and how much it costs for your lifestyle or the lifestyle that you want. And so, and then work backwards. So if you're like, okay, if I want to make $1,000 a week doing this, okay, and I only want to do 5 shoots. So that means you need to do five $200 shoots to make $1,000, and that'll be what you want to do. However, if you put that price down lower, let's say you're only doing 100 an hour, and that means now you got to do 10 shoots, but that's going to cost you a lot more to do, it'll wear you out, and then you'll be
And time.
fatigued.
You don't get time back.
Yes, and that's where you got to see, as to where how much time you want to put into this, how much you want to spend into this, and how much you want to make. All right, if you want to make a six-figure lifestyle from that, that's an average of $2,000 a week. So that's an average. If you're doing at least $2,000 a week, that means you need to figure out, how can I make 2 grand this week, and then work backwards from that, and just say, all right, I need to do at least 10 shoots this week, or I need to do at least 20 shoots a week. And then you want to see how much time you actually have, because sometimes people want to do it, but they don't have the time to do it. And so you have to look at your time, your placement, your expenses, what because your prices eventually, the thing is that don't look for the people that fit into your price. Eventually they're going to find you, or you're going to, as long as you put it in the work, they're going to find you, and you're going to find your market. Find your market. Find your niche, find your market, and then go by that, because that was my biggest thing. I just want to do stuff for family. I was literally was like that family photographer. However, I learned over time, family will get you. Family can help you start and get you into places, but they're not going to be the one that's going to make you rich. I'm gonna be very honest with you,
You
cause
said something right there again, because like I feel like that goes also in part of like getting outside your comfort zone. Because of course your family is going to be there in support, but if you really want to grow this to that next level, you're going to have to meet some people that don't know you. You got to go to different areas that you've never been traveled before. You're going to have to pretty much learn different skills and learn different techniques and much more. But that's all part of the growth process. And I feel like you should
exactly.
enjoy every bit of it. Will it be easy all the time? Of course not. But hey, anything that you have to work for, you will appreciate it later on. That's my belief when it comes down to that.
Facts, facts. Like literally, like that is a real thing. Like when I say your family's going to get you in a place. Like let's say, here goes a perfect example. The other week, my auntie had a graduation party. I was just invited. She didn't invite me to do a photo. I did a photo shoot for her before, but she didn't invite me to do a photo shoot for this one. I just happened to have my camera, and I said, there's no real photographer here, and I just want her to have some photos. I just want her to do
Mm-hmm.
some stuff, and that's my little cousin or whatever. So I said, man, let me go ahead and put that in there, and to just go ahead and take some pictures for her, because she's done so much for me, and I just wanted to show my support. So now what happened is this is how God works, and so this is why I say your family's going to get you there, but they're not going to be the one to make you rich. So she got me into, she works for I guess a company, and she just got me a gig for a corporate event, and they actually had someone,
Connections,
uh, but
relationships.
but yeah, exactly. But it just happened to where they needed another photographer. So me, I gave her my prices, and she said, "Yeah, that's too low." And she
At least she was
verbatim
honest.
for me said, "Hey, yeah," I said 125 an hour, and I'll make it work. And then she said, "Yeah, that's too low. We're gonna do 200 an hour for 3 or 4 hours." And I just said, okay, I'm cool with that too. And I said, perfect. However you want to do it, I'll make sure to give you a referral fee. She said, you don't need a referral fee. She said, I just want to make sure to get you into somewhere, and so we can start making money. You can do this. So like I say, they're going to get you into the places. So now she just got me a corporate event for June 18th that's coming up, and I got a
See,
meeting with them this week just to see about that. So not only is she putting me on, but she's also putting me on to a different market, the market that I'm
and you just
trying to
bridging
be
all the
in.
connections and relationships.
Exactly.
It's
But
all coming together.
so when I say it's a young photographer, bring your camera anywhere, and like literally that's anywhere and everywhere. When I tell you, I've gotten, so my first photo shoot was literally me taking pictures of my one of my best friend's engagement party. She just happened to have it. And I just happened to have my camera. I said, I got you, bro. Let's take some pictures. And she said, oh my gosh. I take that back. I didn't even have my camera. It was some girls taking some pictures, and I took it of them. And then she said, and I said, yeah, I'm actually a photographer for real. She says, I said, yeah. She says, oh, really? She says, well, I got actually an event tomorrow morning. So I got an event tomorrow morning, and I need someone to take some photos of it. And I want a private photo shoot for myself too. And I was like, all right. She said, and this is when you got to start knowing your prices and knowing your worth,
right
because
then.
they're going to ask you. What are your prices? What are your rates? And if you're like, I don't know, and all this stuff, then you're gonna go all the way around and then end up probably losing a shoot. I've lost so many shoots just for not knowing how much I want to charge someone. And she said, yeah, I'll just be in the morning. And then she was like, all right. I said, my rates are usually about 50 an hour. I didn't know what to say. I just said 50 an hour. I said $100. I'll be cool. It was my first photo shoot. I didn't know what to do. And and
Diving
man, I
in,
get
figuring
there.
it out.
She said, yeah, that's way too low. I was there for about, I think, two and a half hours. She wasn't even ready when I got there because they're never ready. 2.5 hours. You already know, man. I've never been to a lot of events or places where they're not ready, man. I haven't been to a lot of them. And I get there, she's still in sleep because she was hung over, and I end up doing a photo shoot in the pool in the downstairs in the lobby. And you can literally go if you go all the way back in my IG capture about Dillard, you can literally see my first photo shoot. And man, I literally just she said, yeah, that's way too low. So I think I charged her 150. She ended up giving me like 225, 250 or something like that, and said, "Yeah, I definitely got to do some work with you." And she was a doctor. And she no, not a doctor. She was a post op, basically to get your body right after a post ops. And I didn't know what it even meant, but I'm just know I'm in there with 8 or 9 different ladies who's learning about this, and I just did the photos, and I just said, "Wow, I'm actually a real photographer." And that's when I knew when you get your first payment from it, you're like, "Okay, this is real."
It's real.
Like
Yeah,
this.
I knew that response. Like that's the like this is real. And then you hit on something too, and I even learned this at Sam. I think it was Keenan Jones. Yeah, I think it was. He said like, you remember Keenan? I know it's been a minute.
What, KJ?
KJ, yeah, from Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think one of the things that stuck with me too, like he said, like bring your camera anywhere you go because you never know.
you never
You
know.
never know. You really never know. You can be minding your own business and be like, I'm not taking no pictures. I'm just enjoying the trip. And then you on a road trip enjoying, you may be on vacation. And
Yeah,
then let's say you be on like Vegas, something like that. And then some person like, man, we need a
yeah.
photographer, man. I would have dropped 600 for that. And you'd be like, wait, what?
Right now. Like they'll be like, right now, I need it tonight. Like right now. I never forget. I had a photo shoot in the middle of a photo shoot before. I had a photo shoot. I'm taking photos of a lady and she went to go change. And then someone was getting proposed to. He said, bro, I just need some photos of this right now for like the next 10, 15 minutes. He said, I'll pay you $100. Yeah, no problem. Cool. And I said, all right, cool. Literally, she left, went to go downtown Dallas. Part. She leaves to go change. I take pictures of him, of their stuff. Literally, I think 5 minutes. Guys, he's perfect. I need you for another. And they booked me for another shoot, and I ended up getting $100 extra when I was just there. So anytime you out with cousins, friends, you with anyone, just have a camera. They as soon as they see it, I've gotten to clubs and parties for free just for having it, and I wasn't even
Yep.
I wasn't even the official photographer. They'll be like,
Yep.
"Hey, yeah, we need you up there. Yeah, we need you for that. We need you for that." So, because it's always marketing, and then I will always say, and that's something I'm doing more right now because like really I just keep going off of word of mouth most of the time, but. I said, you know what? Let me really start taking it serious. Like, have your business cards ready, have your QR
QR
codes ready.
codes
Yeah, man. Have your everything already ready to where when they ask for it, when they need it, because they're going to
you're
ask.
ready.
Like even if you're not good, bro, they're going to ask at least, and at least then they have a
There may
number
be another
because
opportunity.
yeah, because okay, they may not want you today, but I can't tell you how many times a whole 4 or 5 months later, 6 months later, a year later, someone will call me or text me like, "Hey, I got your number way back. My photographer flaked on me.
Canceled.
I
Yep.
yeah, just plain exactly. They canceled on me. Can you help me out? Can you please come? Like, and it'd be the day of, and then after that, you can tax them even more because it was last minute. And so,
Right.
like, I'm just being for real. Like, or you'd be like, here, this is my first time doing it. Then they'd be like, oh my gosh, you were so good, so professional. I need to start using you. And then next thing you know, they're at that place, you'll book another 3 or 4 shoots. And so that's why I say just be prepared because at every photo shoot, if you're doing a good job, you have good energy. That's another
Mm-hmm.
big thing is to where you want to be likable. You want to be that person that they like to be around. And me, like you know me, but like when people
Yep.
do a photo shoot with me, it's really not just about the pictures. It's really who you are. And
And then
once they
experience.
see that side of you to where they do that, man, people invited me to cookouts. Then they said, we don't want you to have your camera. We just want you to be here. Or
They
they'll
love that
put you on,
energy.
yeah, or they want to put you on the other business or other money stuff. Like every single time, it happens almost every single time. And they'll just be like, yeah, our photographer, he wasn't that great, or he was mean, or he charged us this much and only gave us 3 or 5 photos, and I wasn't happy with them. And so you got to just make sure you, when you find your niche, your market, you just make sure you're different, you're professional, and you're ready. And once you have that, man, I promise you, it's going to be very, very great with that.
Man, you are dropping bombs and stuff and much more, especially for the
Hey, man,
people
we've
and
been
like
this has been too long, man. I'm trying to get like you, man.
and then on top of that, like you dropped a lot of great things too that can be taken not only in photography but in other things as well.
Can
It's
you
like
hear me?
just putting yourself out there. I can hear you.
You can hear me
Just
now?
put yeah, you good. This is the main thing is putting yourself out there. Like so many people who wanted to do great things are afraid to put themselves out. But meanwhile, you just listed all the different experiences and opportunities that came out of just being ready, meeting with people, trying things, and that's the main thing. Like even if it's not in
Exactly.
photography, is just put yourself out there. I don't know where this whole thing that came from is like, oh, you got to stay to yourself or don't put yourself out there. That is like the I feel like especially in business, no, in life in general, I think that's the worst thing that someone can do because you never know what kind of connection that you can build, or that may be the next person that you actually needed to actually reach the dream or goal that you wanted to. But if you stayed to yourself and never opened your mouth, the connection would never happen. So I'm a big,
Exactly.
believe into like putting yourself out there, always putting your best foot out there and serving people, and just watch how things pretty much comes to you. Because you over here getting invited to cook. Because I can't even tell you how many different events I got invited to from like from the rappers, the big events. I wish Slim Thug does this again, but I remember the Slim Thug ball, the Boss Life ball. That was one heck of an event when he had all them celebrities and it was a scholarship event at the end
Man.
of the year. That right there, I'm not gonna lie, was nice. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody was dressed up. It was red carpet. You had Mayweather there. You had everybody from big in Houston. People enjoying the vibe and music, and it's not just in photography, but just if you're a likable person and that you do good service, you'll be invited to great events like that. And people will be like, or start being like, "Where you going to now?" Shoot, I got invited to this event. I'm like, how you keep getting invited to all these dang events? Man,
Yep.
I just put myself out there and just pretty much gravitate to people. Um, but with that, like, what else do you got
Yeah,
going on? Because
man.
you're a great personality. We got the photography, and I want to give you opportunities. Like, what else you got going on? Then I'm gonna play this quick little video clip, and I'm gonna get your response from it.
All right, no problem. Yeah, man. Photography is my main thing right now. But however, my next move is real estate, man. And so shout out to my boy, my cousin Lakeith Fowler, man. I just got done. We just got done. I've been helping him. That's how I've been getting into real estate photography. So that's the next move as well. Is real estate photography and like 3D digital photography. And so we actually just got a deal. We've been doing a lot of real estate for the last, I believe, since about 2020, 2021. We've been acquiring houses, restoring them, redoing them, and refinancing. And so now we actually just got a deal with the city bank with something called
Nice.
the private, yes, with the city banks, to where we're helping with affordable housing across the DFW houses. And so we're going to be the first ones to get, like, when houses, like, let's say they get evicted, they're down, they need to get restored and things like that. And so he's a real estate investor. However, we need more real estate investors and more real estate agents to sell it and put it on the market. And so right now, I'm basically building a team between me, my best friend, actually two of my best friends, and what we want to start doing is start actually getting our real estate licenses, beginning to start getting real estate brokerages and things of that matter, so we can start getting and selling these houses at a high point, because they have like thousands and hundreds and thousands of houses in the area. that they need to be sold and done, but they just don't have the right people to do it. And so I don't care if you're black, white, Indian, Mexican, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just want to help people to get into something that they always want to do. And that's always been my passion is real estate, because if I didn't go to college and go to get a degree in marketing or whatever, I would have did that. That's the route I would have went. And so that's happening here. I believe I'm getting my license within the next about 3.5, 4 months or so. That's the big thing. My photography is literally blowing up now to where I don't even have enough time to do it. Like I'm getting double and triple and quadruple booked, and I'm like, man, I can't do it by myself. So two of my friends, they said I want to learn, and so now my next step is to pass that along. I want to start teaching people how to do this now. So I want to come out with a real estate, not real estate, but a photography course, so I can start and a mentoring course, so I can start actually helping them, and then the gigs and the shoots and everything that I have, and come up with a whole team, because I can't be in 10 places at one time. I can't do it. However, I can teach 10 people to be in one place at one time, and we all make money, because it's too much money out here to be made for that. And so those are the big things. And so now with this streaming right now that you're putting me on to, so this is probably my first, I believe this is my first like actual stream and first like actual podcast and things like that. This is what I'm trying to get into, because I just got monetized on Facebook and IG, and I want to get into this. And so you're really actually teaching me a lot right now, and I appreciate that. So because I want to get into this, and this is really teaching me a lot. So those are the big things that I have coming up so far.
Nice, nice, nice. All those great things you mentioned, especially with real estate, because that's one of the foundations of the wealth, as well as knowledge and much more. And then, of course, you have wealth with the relationships with the people that you obtain and grow with. All that and much more. Now, real quick, I'm going to play you a quick from one of the movies. You've probably seen it. And then I want to get your response from that. So, are you ready? Because I need you to
Let's
pay
get it.
attention to your phone. So, I'm going to play this little clip.
Let's get it.
Let me go ahead and get it ready. All right. Let's roll it.
Sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. The world ain't.
Just from that alone, what did you get? Can you hear me, Deb? Can you hear me? I can hear you. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Trying to see. Were you able to watch the video? Speak. May have a little bit of connections. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. So were you able to watch the clip?
Yeah, man, that's my boy Rocky, man. Like that's a very inspirational. And you made me have to get up on that one. So like, no, that's one of those clips to where, as an entrepreneur, these are the type of videos and things that you got to watch almost on the daily. And I would even say, just if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a parent, if you're what is it? You're taking care of someone. You're a caretaker. And really, just sometimes if you're just down, you're going through something. It's a huge thing that you have to do. You have to go through, because the thing is that you have the ability to do whatever you want, whatever you desire in this life. However, if you don't have the mentality to keep going and to get over it, and to actually go over every obstacle, it's never going to happen. Because when I tell you, within this photography business, there's been so many things that try to just really keep me down, to keep me from moving forward to going through, especially like death, finances, lack of knowledge, lack of resources. These are a lot of things that'll keep someone from doing. That's why a lot of people can't do entrepreneurship, because they don't have the mentality to keep going when it gets tough. And so the thing is that, like, especially like let's say this month alone is men's mental health
Awareness.
awareness month.
Hmm.
And so the thing is that your strongest brain in your strongest muscle in your whole body pretty much is or the most important one is your brain, man. And if so, you have to exercise it. You have to be able to get through it. But the thing about the brain is that it can be very tricky. It can get you down. It can make you feel like, hey, like, you're not good enough. Hey, you're not strong enough. Hey, you're not rich enough or have enough what you need to do to make this happen. However, you got to be able to tell whatever is in front of you, whatever obstacle, wherever anything that's in front of you, to say, hey, I know I am, or hey, or basically ask God for the strength and the knowledge to get over that, because it's not easy. This life isn't easy. This business isn't easy. Family isn't easy. Relationships isn't easy. Making money isn't completely as easy as it seems. At least legitimate money. And so all I can say is that you have to completely go inside. Sometimes you got to go inside that dark place. I've been especially in being an entrepreneur. I've been inside those dark places. I've been inside those times where I felt like I wasn't good. I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not this. But I had to at least go around. One, I had to ask God for the strength and the mentality and the charisma to keep going. I had to go around my family and friends to where they're like, hey, I don't think I can do this. And then they'll say, be around some positive people to where they'll say, hey, you can do that. Then there's going to be times to where you're going to have that family members and friends that say that you can't do it. And that's
Ooh.
when you really have to be in tune with yourself and your body and what you want to accomplish and do at that time. Because when you that's going to when that time happens, that's when you feel like no one in this world believes in you. But if you believe in you, that's all you really need. That's all you need between you and God, or whatever you believe in. But I know for me, it's me. If I don't have God, as long as I have God and God says that you can do it and you can make a way, and this is the way that you want to do it, then I'm good. I'm good enough. My mom don't have to be there. My best
This
friend
life is
don't have to be
good.
there. My cousins, my brothers, and all of them, they don't have to be there. As long as I got me and God Himself, I know that I can make it. I can make it work. But you have to have that type of mentality, and the only way you do that is to completely exercise it and feed it every single day with positivity, with knowledge, with
This
whatever
life
you're
is
trying to
good.
accomplish. Because if not, eventually it's going to go all the way, and then you're just going to be in that place and feel like you're in a sunken place, and then you're just going to look around and be like, man, I can't do it. And you're not going to do it. And that's when people quit. That's when people give up. That's when people go to other dreams. That's when people even go into anxiety, depression, suicide. All these other things are a part of that because of lack of belief within themselves. So if you don't have that within yourself, you'll never be able to accomplish anything, even if it's a simple thing. You'll never be able to do it if you don't have it you don't have the heart to do it, and you don't have the mentality to get over it.
Man, oh man, that's what we call a sermon. Let the church say amen. Let the church say amen. Close the
Amen,
doors.
amen,
Open the
amen.
doors.
Open the door. We're ready.
Whatever you want.
Hey, we ready. We're ready for that one, man. Just take the collection plate, man. That's all it is. We're at that point. They've already done that, man. We're ready.
Whatever you want. As the pastor said. But man, that I mean, there's no better way to say that, because you pretty much, like, you were just feeling it and just saying you were dropping a lot of great dimes into that. And the big thing is the mindset, because there's going to be times, like, just paraphrasing what, but you said everything, but there's going to be times where you feel like you're alone, and you got to be strong within yourself, know the value of yourself to keep pushing forward. That's exactly what the clip that I showed Rocky, because life is going to hit you right in the mouth.
Yeah.
And it's like, how bad do you really want it? Because I hit you pretty good, but trust me, there's gonna be more. Like, are you gonna really be able to stay in as I throw more punches, or are you just gonna quit like everybody else? And
Facts.
that right there is a real test among yourself. and you find out what you are really made of.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's when you know that's the biggest wars. That's why it's like the best people in the world, the biggest people in the world, not the people who are undefeated. And so, like Mayweather is nice. However, Mayweather never went down. You're not going to hear. You're going to hear people say he was great, he was amazing. But most people are going to say Muhammad Ali. But Muhammad Ali didn't have a perfect record. He went down. He got up. He went down. He got back up. Then after that, you're going to have people to say the whole thing is that it's not about how many times you fall down. Like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite line in Rocky. It's not about how many times you fall down or get knocked down, get knocked out. It's about how many times you get back up. Because you only lose, you only fail, you only do you only fail and lose whenever you quit or don't get back up, man. When you give up, when you say, "All right, I'm done, I quit," that's it. That's when you fail, because as long as you still got breath in life, you still have a chance every single day. I tell people that every day. I say, as long as I
Shoot,
as long as I
breathing,
can get up,
shooting, another
as long as
opportunity.
I have a breath in my lungs, as long as I have my mind in the right way, I have a chance to be successful. I have a chance to accomplish my dreams. I might have took the long way around. I might have took a little bit longer than what other people have done. It might have not have been as pretty and fancy as other people as they have done it, but you still have a chance to actually make it happen. So that's the thing. Like with this motivational thing is to
This guy
where
was
I love
good.
stuff like this, because you have to. This is the main thing that you need, because you have all the equipment. The thing is that in the Bible it says that he'll give you everything that you need. All you got to do is put the pieces together. And so you may not have everything you want, but you got everything you need to be successful. And the thing that you need to be successful is discipline. You got to be able to do things even when nobody is telling you to do it. You got to have the work ethic. You got to be able to put in the work, because laziness and sleep is the sister and cousin to death. And so you got to be able to put in that work, man. Whatever third is, you got to have the consistency, man. When you have that consistency to where, all right, because sometimes the thing is why LeBron is may not be the GOAT completed to everyone. However, the reason why he has the most points, the reason why he has the most is because he's very consistent throughout his whole career. Because there's a lot of people who have maybe even played around the same time, have done the same things that he has done. However, because he's so consistent, is what makes him one of the goats of all time. You can say he didn't do all this, he didn't do all that. He made a loss this many championships, or he made a loss this many times in the finals. However, something you can't say that he isn't is consistent. The man is 40 years old and outplayed a 25, 26-year old named Luca, who was pretty much supposed to be one of the faces of the thing. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people can't say that they've done that. All right. So you got consistency, you got discipline. You also got to have the heart, man. You got to be able to do things that and do things and have the courage to do things that others won't. Because whenever you start doing things that other people don't do, whenever you start doing things that other people won't do, wherever things you start doing
This guy
things
was good.
that people wish they could do, that's when you're going to start getting into a whole different market and a whole different area within your life. All right. And then and basically the last thing I would say is, after consistency, discipline, basically you gotta have is what this whole video was over. You gotta have the mental for it. And you gotta be able to feed your brain. You don't have to be the smartest in the room. Because actually they say if you're the smartest in the room, you need to find a different
Another
room.
room.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I try my best to not be the smartest in the room, and you have to be able to be coachable. You got to be able
Ooh,
to listen to other people and don't feel like you know it all. Something I always would
ooh,
say.
I have some family members
Yes,
that
man.
like that. Like,
Yes, man. I would say the wisest, something I learned in philosophy, the only thing I put out, because I really didn't like the class like that. But the one thing that I just said, basically, the wisest man in the room is the person in the room that doesn't know anything. However, he has the ability to learn, because the definition of being smart and wise is having the ability to learn. So if you don't know, I'll tell you, if you know everything in the room, you know everything in the world, you're not smart anymore, because now that you can't learn anything, you can't be coachable. You be taught anything. So now, when you actually are coachable, just be a sponge within every room that you do. absorb the knowledge, absorb. Now everything's not going to be good, everything's not going to be great. However, you want to absorb as much knowledge and that you possibly can, because that's going to make you intelligent. That's going to make you different. That's going to make you very dangerous. And say, because the most dangerous thing in this world, the reason why I wanted to go to school, the reason why I wanted to be around intelligent, smart people, is because the most dangerous thing in the world is an intelligent black man. And so and so I said I didn't want to just be smart. I wanted to be intelligent. I wanted to be well rounded. I wanted to just not know about one thing. I wanted to be well rounded in everything. And so once you have that mentality, that consistency, that discipline, that heart, and you got some positive energy around y'all, man, I promise you, you can accomplish anything in this world. Anything, the top is it's closer than you think. You just got to keep climbing. And so these are the things that I always say to myself every single day. Don't quit. Don't keep going. It's not that bad. It's you're almost there. You're closer than you think, because these are the things you have to tell yourself whenever everyone else is saying you should stop. You don't know how many times I heard from my mom, my dad, my friends, and they said, "Man, you need to go somewhere else. You need to do something else. This ain't it." And I'm like, "Man,
This guy was good.
God has a calling for me for this. I'm right there." You can read a book called what is, I think it's Closer to Gold Than You Think. And so pretty much over the book is that or I think there it is. It was 3 feet from gold. And so basically this guy was been digging for so long, and he's waiting for this gold. He's done it for so long. However, the thing is that he stopped and he quit, and another guy came right behind it, went another 3 feet, and then he was right there. And hit the gold mine. So you're closer than you think. You just got to keep going. And these are things you got to tell yourself every single day. And if not, watch the videos, read the books, be around positive energy, read and watch stuff like Next Level Thinking, and do things like this. And then from there, yeah, 3 feet from gold. Man, I thought it was like maybe I may have been off on the measurements. It was perfect right on. Yeah, man, that was one of a great book that I had to know about, because that's something that I've always it creates FOMO. That book creates FOMO, fear of missing out, because you really don't want to miss out on that gold mine. You don't want to be the person that didn't invest into this. You don't want to be the person that didn't continue to do this. However, someone else who came in behind you and did all this and did little work, however, they hit the gold mine, but you did all the work for it. And so that's where I say you gotta keep going if you really truly believe in it. Don't quit. And these are the things that I have to tell myself, and I'm just hoping that it helps someone else out there to reach the gold mine. And if you do, all you got to do is just say, "Hey, I learned this stuff from my boy Dillard and my boy Chris Holmes," and and that'll be more than enough, because that just lets me know that I may, if let's say sometimes I may not reach the promised land that what you're trying to reach at. I may not. My destiny may not be your destiny. However, if I can inspire someone and help someone to get through the day, to help someone not commit suicide, to help someone get out of that depression, to help someone get off their tail and to get to work, I that's more than enough for me. That's more than enough that I need, because I just want to be the inspiration that'll lead the next generation. That's all I want to do, man.
It took us to the promised land. We had Sunday service, and then right after that, we went to evening service.
Hey man,
He done preached 2 sermons all in one. You got to double. You got to duplex.
I gotta do what I gotta do, man.
But that's nice,
what is it?
man.
I don't think they heard the first one, so I said, what they say, I gotta come back again, man. The choir came, put the organ in, and I said, "Oh, y'all gonna get me started again?" And
they started playing the piano.
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
You didn't know.
I swear, that's how it is, man.
Man, oh man, you shoot. There's nothing else to add off of that, man. You pretty much said the whole sermon. We got 2 in 1. Only thing I'm gonna add is like if you are in a discussion of the greats or the goats, you're doing something right. Like
okay,
that's my little input on that. Like if you're in a discussion of the goats or the greatest, you're doing something right, because you
exactly.
But But other than that, with all the great gems and information, where can they find you at as we close out? And make sure you provide your social media handle as well.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So you can find me on Facebook at Captured by Dillard. That's my photography page. Or you can find Dillard Gibson. And that's Dillard. Yes, it's like the store. Gibson. You can find me. I have to say, like Chris, you don't understand how many times I gotta say that within either a day or a weekly basis. Like the moment I say, "Hey, my name is Dillard," they'll be like, "Oh,
Like the
Dylan?
store?
No, it's Dillard, like the store," and they'll be like, "Oh,
Oh,
okay, okay." I'm like, they say, "Oh, your mom must really like stores." I'm like, "Yeah, my name is Dillard." Fun fact about me: I have a brother, my deceased brother. It's the reason why I do everything I do. His name was Neiman, just like the store. So his middle name was Demarcus instead of Neiman Marcus. It's Neiman Demarcus, and my middle name is Marquise. So Dillard
nice.
Marquise, and his is Neiman Demarcus, man. And if I was a girl, my name was going to be named Macy, just like the store, bro. You think it's a joke, man? And my mom said it was out of Dillard's, J.C. Penney's, and Foley's, and so I thank God that she stuck with Foley's. No, no, it was out of Dillard, Foley's, and Sears, and I thank God that she stuck with Dillard, or whatever. But if I have a girl name, if I ever have a kid and she a girl, her name's gonna be J.C. Penney, Jaci, middle name Penny. Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta say that.
I
With
already have it.
that,
And if it's a boy, it's gonna be James Avery.
oh Lord, he has everything set in
it's already
stone.
it's already set in stone, man. I got it, man. You got to
Nice,
speak into
nice.
existence if it ever
I'll be
happens. But
looking forward to that.
yeah,
And
but if my IG though, my IG is at Captured by Dillard for my photography page, and my personal page. You can find me at they underscore call me underscore solo. So they call me solo, and everything with that, man.
nice, nice, nice. And for the audience, thank you for tuning in. As always, it's another great episode of Next Level Thinking with your host, C. Holmes, bringing you inspirational stories to help you take it to the next level. So make sure you subscribe, share, and comment, and keep the discussion going, because it's all about elevating the mind, helping you take it to the next level. So with that said, what can I say as we close out the show?
Mm,
There's greatness within you. Why don't you
mm.
wake it up? About time. Other than
Ooh.
that, catch you next time, and peace.